Hi guys, welcome back. So England 38, France 33. What an amazing game. An absolute game of two halves, a thriller to decide the Six Nations. Now, why is this the only video I've made about the Women's Six Nations? Well, to be fair, this is a two-team tournament. I don't think that's disrespectful. These are the two class teams and it showed in this game. But goodness me, what a great call to have the Six Nations stand alone, not running alongside the men's tournament. Absolutely, this game stood up to it. England playing at Twickenham as they should, with a world record attendance of 58,498, absolutely phenomenal atmosphere and a fantastic game. So early on in the game, the English defence just looks a little bit rusty. They haven't faced a team like France, of course. They've had some fairly easy games, to be fair, and they're caught a little bit narrow in defence. France have got some confidence. Their 9, Bourdon, is absolutely fantastic. Quick pass, good tempo to the running phases. I thought she was a class act for France. And on 14 minutes, it's just all France for that whole 14 minutes, but a poor penalty attempt from Tremoulière, which is a bit of a shame because she is a hell of a kicker and really picked it up later in the game. But for all that dominance, they get no points, which will definitely hurt France there. And England have had time to get into the game. I think it's a moral victory on 14 minutes as Bottoman makes a big turnover and they release the pressure. So then England just burst into life, and with literally their first touch of the ball, goodness me, they score a try. England's first proper attack of the match. It's the centres that combine. Hurd at 12, who I thought was excellent, one of England's best players, probably their best back, pops to Rowland, who's playing 13. She breaks through heavy traffic, feeds Dow on the right, and she's absolutely electric, too quick. What a try from nothing, 5-0. Killer blow for France after being on top for that first 15 minutes or so. Now, just a little note here, they've had to play a very different midfield to what they had in the World Cup. The World Cup was kind of Harrison, Rowland as the playmaking 12 and Scarrett at 13. Harrison and Scarrett not available, so they've brought Rowland into 13, and Aitchison has stepped up from centre to 10 and done a really good job as 10 in this tournament. Is she going to carry on when Harrison's fit? Probably not, I'd say, but the one that's really stood up is Hurd. A really big runner and good hands. I think she is quality. I think she would retain that 12 slot, to be honest, with maybe Scarrett coming into 13. So that's an interesting one. Let me know which way round you think the England midfield would be. But anyway, 22 minutes, the first massive shunt from the English pack. They had some big scrums in this game. The momentum is shifting towards England. On 25 minutes, it's the impressive inside centre Hurd again, with a breakout wide, a good fend, an offload to Marley Packer with a try under the post. That was good stuff made by Hurd there. So 12-0. And half an hour in, it's just all England now. Front foot ball. Quick phases, Cabella, who was the player of the match, the blind side, she was fantastic, and Hurd again to the fore. England camp on the try line, desperate from the French, and Tremoulière with a deliberate knock-on to stop the overlap, a costly yellow card. And another huge scrum from England, the number 8 Alex Matthews, who is a proper player. She is very good, I like her a lot. Powers over from close range, 19-0. Now England are just cutting loose. It looks like they're going to score from every attack. Packers to the fore, absolutely having a great day. Davis is over the line, probably scores, but they can't see the grounding, so it's given no try. I mean, that could have been an absolute killer blow. Then on 35 minutes, France are just on the ropes. They need half time, but there's still 5 minutes. A huge carry from the dump truck of a second row Beckett sets up the play. Another great line from Rowland. It looks like England are over. But an interesting one here, the French prop comes from an offside position to stop a certain try. Looks cynical. It is a yellow card plus a penalty try. Absolute killer, 26-0. But with the clock in the red, England aren't done. They know they should score versus 13 players, and they do. A full length of the pitch attack once again. Allcroft with a nice step off her left to finish 33-0, an absolutely devastating first half attack after a decent first 15 minutes for France. It looks like there's no way back for France, or is there? Now in the second half, France's first job is to see out that 7 minutes to get their 15 players back on the pitch, and they do that well. The second part is to get back in the game on the scoreboard, and they do that as well. Set up a big maul. The French forwards are really stepped up in this second half. Big carries, makes the space out wide for Boulard, a classic setup try, 33-7, so great response for France in the second half. England are still whacking away in defence, but this time they're getting in penalty trouble, and those French forwards who have woken up and they've introduced some power, particularly in the replacement forward, Ménager. She was absolutely fantastic, making yards after the contact, which was really, really important. Boudon, the 9, goes on a mission once again to try and beat every English player backwards and forwards, looking for a break. And Barnier, the winger, who is fantastic, dummies Lucy Packer, an absolute treat, the England 9. That's a great try, 33-14, and Tremoulier has got a kicking boots back on with a second great conversion. So the comeback is on. The combination of England penalties and a massive step up from the French pack has given them this hope. England, they've also brought on their replacement 19, Poppy Cleall, who's an absolute huge player. Her huge size helps power over the English maul. This time Lark Davis does get a try, 38-14, stretching that lead once again, although a poor misconversion from Rowland, definitely a difference in the kicking abilities between the two teams there. I don't know if injuries have caught up with her, but Poppy Cleall just looks a little bit slower than she did a few years ago, and a few years ago I thought she was the best forward in the world, but still very impactful off the bench at this point, adding her bulk into that maul. Now the game looks finely balanced at this point, but Aitchison and Breach take forever to clear a ball, which they don't in the end when they've had plenty of time. The French turn it over, set up a driving maul, score it, converted once again by Tremoulier, and they're right back in the game, 38-21. On 69 minutes, a massive defensive play from France as England have 2 great chances to score off mauls, but they hold the ball up, which means they get a goal line dropout now to relieve the pressure. On 71 minutes, an amazing break from the French centres. Vernier powers through, just gets the offload to the 13. Ménager, that's a fantastic play, but Jess Breach just stops the try. Now with 5 minutes to go, there's not enough time, but they do get 2 more tries, one from a maul and big carries, 38-26, and they're absolutely unstoppable. They go the length of the pitch once again on their phase play, straight from the kickoff, and an 80 plus minutes, a final offload sees the great winger Barnier in once again. So there it is, full time, 38-33. England win the Grand Slam. Well done them. They win the Six Nations, of course, as well. France will be gutted because they won that second half, 7-33, but left themselves far too much work to do. And what a great game for that world record attendance for a women's game. So all the comments below on that game, and I'll catch you next time.